Greetings, car fanatics. So today I'm here with Tulsa, and we're going to tell you about the different 911 models. Now, if you're really looking into just getting a nice, affordable pre-owned Porsche for spirited driving, I think a base model is perfectly fine. The 9972s come with 345 horsepower. This is more than adequate. The suspension is good, so is the brakes, so is the driving dynamics. And even though this is only a base model, you could take it to a track and it would do pretty well. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more power, the S model is the way to go. You get 385 horsepower, a more aggressive suspension setup. You also get bigger brakes, so this would be even better if you want to take it to the track every now and then. But again, the base model will be also pretty competent on the track. If you want a 911 built for the track, the GT3 is definitely right for you. It has a more powerful 3.8-liter engine producing 435 horsepower. Additionally, the engine is a dry sump lubrication engine, meaning you're not going to have any oil starvation in high G braking or cornering maneuvers. Additionally, it has a really aggressive track suspension, so you definitely want this if you're going to be on the track. It also features an aero kit for really good downforce in the front and in the rear. So overall, the GT3 is the right car for you if you want to take it to a track. However, because of the demand for GT3s, they have held their value very strongly. A used 9972 GT3 is probably going to run you over 120 grand. So if you do have the money to shell out for a track-oriented 911, definitely the GT3 would be the right car for you. My favorite 911 is the GTS. It's an excellent street car while a weapon on the track. Porsche uses the 911 wide body configuration for the GTS, so whether you get it in a two-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive configuration, you get that beautiful wide body. It also comes with a sport bumper in the front, along with GT2 side skirts. I think this makes the car look really sexy. So moving on to the mechanics. The engine gets the power kit fitted as standard, which bumps the power up from 385 to 408 horsepower. Additionally, the car comes standard with the sport suspension, which lowers the car about half an inch over a standard Carrera S and gives it a limited slip rear differential. GTSs are extremely popular among enthusiasts, and I found that they are holding their value pretty well. You can get a used one for about $70,000, which isn't too far off from the price of a 911 Turbo, which we're about to cover. And finally, we have the granddaddy Porsche 911 Turbos. I think when you think of a 911, a lot of times you think of the 911 Turbos. And Porsche offers the Turbo in two models, the Turbo and the Turbo S, and both provide crazy power. I believe the 9972 Turbos had something like 500 horsepower, and the Turbo S models had close to 530 horsepower. But both of these cars are rockets. If you want something that has extremely awesome straight line performance, but is also agile just like any other 911, the Turbo is definitely the route to go. It is more of a GT car and less of a pure driving car as compared to the naturally aspirated Carreras, but I don't know a lot of people who would drive a 911 Turbo and would complain about the way it drove. So these are the models you should definitely consider. The next thing you want to consider is what is the right drivetrain for you? Are you looking for a rear-wheel drive pure sports car configuration, or do you need four-wheel drive for driving in inclement weather? Now, the different trims, most of them do come in either a two or four-wheel drive variant. You can get the base model, the S models, the GTS models, all in either two-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The GT3 only comes in rear-wheel drive, and then the Turbo also comes only in all-wheel drive unless you opt to get the GT2 model, which most people don't get. This is really expensive and pretty hard to find. And finally, after you do figure out the drivetrain you want to get, you want to think about the transmission. Do you want a stick shift, or do you want a PDK for maximum performance? Or if you have someone, a wife, a significant other who cannot drive stick, the PDK would be a great route. And I would say the final consideration is if you want a coupe or convertible body style. For me, I really love the pure lines of a coupe, so I decided to get a coupe. But if you do want a convertible, you can pretty much get any of the 911 trims in a convertible form except for the GT3. So in a nutshell, when you are looking for which Porsche you want to get, you want to first consider the trim, and that's going to be based on your use case for the vehicle. Next, you want to consider if you need all-wheel drive or if you would rather have a more pure two-wheel drive variant. And then third, figure out the transmission. Is stick shift important, or would you like the maximum performance of a PDK? And then finally, just thinking about the body style. Do you want to put the top down every now and then, or do you not really care about that? And after you do all this, you can narrow down which Porsche 911 you want to get. And in my next video, I'll talk about the different options you should consider if you're interested in really purchasing a Porsche 911. So thanks for watching. As always, give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to our channel, and leave any questions and comments below.